What's up, guys? This is Joe East here. Revelation chapter 18. The world is coming down all around us. Let's read from the Apocalypse of St. John. Let's get some crazy notes of the apocalypse, if I can pull it off. Yeah! Maybe like this. And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils. And the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk the wine of the wrath of her fornication. And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, the great city Babylon, that mighty city. For in 1 hour thy judgment come. And the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee. And the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall not be heard no more at all in thee, for thy merchants were the great men of the earth. For by thy sorceries were all nations deceived. And in her was found the blood of prophets and of saints and of all that were slain upon the earth. Let's get shocking here. Let's bring the apocalypse to us now. Omen on September 11th, 2001. World Trade Center. Money. Central banking. Alarms. Madison Avenue advertising sorcerers. Broadway, Degenerate Entertainment. And we had all those stupid New York sitcoms. Friends, Sex and the City, all kinds of stupid sitcoms, symbols of nothingness and disgust. Atomized individuals are powerless and easily controlled. A city of nobodies, New York City. Atomized individuals, disconnected. The Pentagon got hit. What is that a symbol of? The military-industrial complex. As Eisenhower said, deep state, secrecy. Secrecy. Weird, stupid, meaningless fucking words in the modern age, like top secret, classified. Oh my god. Only mafias keep secrets, right? Fake patriotism to the system and not to the country. People don't really love the country, they just love their system. Abomination of Desolation, New York City. The Pentagon, center of the beast. Symbols. World Trade Center and Pentagon, symbols of the beast. What else did we see around this time in the arts? Lord of the Rings. What happened between 2012 and 2013? We had a surge of energy back around 2012 or 2013 where the gods were awakening us for the tribulation that's going on now. Transformational worldwide, 2012 to 2013. We discovered uncomfortable truths. Speaking straight talk, a new generation of millennials were coming into their truth, speaking truth, the raw truth. Raw facts of life revealed that were hidden, starting in 2012 and 2013. Remember that? Or were you sleeping? Were you sleeping then? Were you being comfortable on your mother's breast? Were you comfortable on your mother's breast and you couldn't wake up because you were too comfortable, maybe? Excuse me. Truths were rediscovered. Diet and exercise. We reawoke to the truths that were buried for decades on diet and exercise. Sex and relationships, old truths were rediscovered. Politics as a farce of elites playing both sides Around 2012 and 2013, everybody knew the game that both parties were simply set up by the bankers to pretend that we had two parties. But in actuality, there was only one party. Let's see if I can play that high, huh? What does Donald Trump symbolize? Many things. Complicated guy. Unique. Once in 100 years power, like Napoleon in the late 1700s and early 1800s. A force of nature. He symbolizes what? Whether you like the guy or not, I don't give a shit. It doesn't matter. What does he symbolize? Unfiltered talk. Unfiltered talk. He says whatever the fuck is on his goddamn mind. And wasn't that happening to the millennial generation coming of age around 2012 and 2013? Of course. What else is he a symbol of? He's not really political, although those who are under the spell of hypnosis of the media thinks he is. He's basically a classic union working class Democrat. But his policies are straight up union Democrat. People think he's a right-wing Republican. He's actually a straight up classical left-wing working class Democrat. And there you go. There's the hypnosis of the media where people think he's right-wing or some goofy shit like that. Nope. He's straight up union working class Democrat. Straight up. Unashamed alpha male with an unashamed alpha female wife and daughter. As opposed to all previous presidents that were just not alpha. Reagan kind of sort of was an alpha. Bush, the second Bush was a stupid alpha. But he was an alpha, kind of, sort of. Reagan was an alpha. Kennedy was an alpha. So there we go. We got an unashamed alpha male with alpha male, female wife and daughter. People who are in control of things. Who know what they want. And go out in there and fucking get it. But then there was a backlash against these charismatic figures of Trump and his family of alphas, taken over from the boring political class of the boring Barack Obama, whoever the fuck that guy was. I don't even remember what he did. He was so boring, I don't even know what the hell he did for 8 years. Nobody knows. We know he's just boring as hell. The second Bush was boring. Clinton was kind of a degenerate piece of shit. He wasn't boring, but he was a degenerate piece of shit. But what was the backlash about from 2016 until about now? Again, he's a symbol. Trump is a symbol. So what was the backlash? The opposite, probably what he was. Censorship, which means we can't have these alpha males talking the truth or being a symbol of the truth. Alphas just saying how things are. And then we have people take the opposite of his positions with the instinct of a fake opposition. Again, he's a straight-up union working-class Democrat policies. No lack of, strict restriction of immigration. Keep the factories in the country. That's straight-up union Democrat. But people in the media hypnosis think he's a right-wing Republican, big business sort of thing, which he's not. He's straight-up union Democrat. And so they take the opposite position of the hypnotic symbol of big business Republican, and then therefore they pretend like there's some socialist-ist thing opposite him. And they're all stupid because they believe in the media hypnosis that does not exist. I don't care which side of the aisle you're from. You must, at this point, know about media hypnosis, and that what is put forth as the Trump and the anti-Trump does not exist. It's an illusion. It's an illusion created by that old media that's trying to make a pretend fight. People don't like Trump not because of his policies. People don't even know what his policies are most of the time. It's just a personality thing. So if you don't like him, it's mostly personality. You probably have no idea of his policies. You probably don't even think about him being a classic union working class Democrat and his policies. You probably never thought about that until I just told you about it. So there we go. New York. He's also from New York, from a better age of New York of building things, building towers. Building towers. So where we're going from here as we crash this economy, we crash the country, we start a new world within the next 2 to 5 years, new currency, new money. Definitely the destruction of the deep state, because that was formed around 1933, and everything that was formed around 1933 will be crashed and burned to the ground, because that's what the stars say must happen. That's what the gods say must happen. Let's get a different sound here, maybe. What do you think, guys? Put a little bit of humbucker, maybe combo. There we go. We're not going back. We're not going back to breathe before 2012. We ain't no going back. Where are we headed in this new world? Find your truth. Speak your truth. Absolute freedom of creativity. Absolute freedom of speech. The absolute right to offend the old church ladies who are almost dead. You shall have the absolute right to offend anybody. You're speaking your truth. Absolute right of diversity. Red light districts. They can have their own red light districts. Absolute right of traditional groups. Classical Christians, Catholics, Muslims. They have the absolute right to form their own communities. And excluding everybody else because they have an absolute right to just form their own communities. Freedom. The red light districts can form their own goddamn communities too. Free country, right? You can create a group, create a corporation, create a club, and exclude people you don't want in there. Freedom. Freedom of association. Absolute right of family values. We have to make sure we provide for kids for the next generation. Those who want the absolute right of family values to the exclusion of all within their group, within their area of those without family values. It's the right. You can't impose anything on anybody. Speak your truth. If it's family values, or if your truth is red light districts, we don't give a fuck. Stay on your side of the tracks, we'll stay on our side of the tracks. And if you want to join the folks on the other side of the tracks, well, get in negotiations and make sure you have their checklist ready. And you can join them once you get your checklist ready to join their group. Freedom, baby. It's a big old country from coast to coast, from Gulf of Mexico to Canada. Atlantic Ocean, Pacific Ocean, there's plenty of room for all of us. Administrators and commissars gone forever. There is no should. This is the way things should be. Fuck off, bitch. We don't care what the shoulds are. All we want is absolute freedom of speech. Absolute freedom of... It went loud. Must have... the pots must be a bit... There you go. Absolute freedom of the truth, speaking truth. Absolute freedom of creativity. Absolute freedom of speech. Absolute right to offend the old church ladies who are almost dead. Absolute right of diversity. Absolute right of association. Absolute right of all groups who want to gather together and form a group. That's where we're headed, guys. As they say, Age of Aquarius or whatever. I was trying to turn it off. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm going to go replace the pots with some of these, my amplifier here. Maybe I need to replace the tubes, I don't know. So that's where we're headed, guys. Right now, the Abomination of Desolation, the symbol of New York and Washington, is being burned to the ground. We saw some omens back on September 11th. Now is the final, where the gods themselves have destroyed the system. God has destroyed Babylon or Sodom and Gomorrah, whatever the fuck you want to call it. An angel came down from heaven, having great power. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, is become habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. And all the kings of the earth, all the presidents we call them nowadays, or bankers of the earth, who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her, shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. Hello, Jeffrey Epstein types. Standing afar off for the fear of torment. Alas, the great city of Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour thy judgment come. And the light of the candles shall shine no more in thee. For thy merchants were great men of the earth, New York City, Boston, D.C. For thy sorceries were all nations deceived. CNN, BBC, thy sorceries were all nations deceived with your hypnotic media. And in her was found the blood of prophets and of saints and of all that were slain upon the earth. There's no more saints and prophets and true priests in the establishments anywhere on earth. Their blood is dripping. They're hiding in corners in the deserts, in the fields, in their homes, silently waiting for the New Jerusalem to emerge. Abomination of Desolation. All right, there we go. Revelation chapter 18. We are done for the night. Be safe out there. Stay away from fear. Keep the faith and the hope in yourself. Till next time, goodbye.